The private lounge at the Ivy in London hummed with the familiar soundtrack of my sister's success stories. Another award, another promotion, another reason for our parents to glow with pride over their golden child. Emily Hart, youngest executive director at Crownridge Bank, their shining star in tailored suits. I sat at the far end of the mahogany table, pushing roasted beetroot around my plate while Emily held court. "The acquisition's practically sealed," she declared, swirling her 800-pound sterling, 0 pence glass of Bordeaux. "Once we take over that digital wallet startup, Crownridge's fintech division will leave every other bank in the dust." Our father nodded, eyes sparkling. "Strategic thinking, Emily. That's why you're where you are." I bit back a grin, recalling the encrypted message I'd received that very morning, the one stamped, highly confidential, from my real office, not the boutique tech consultancy my family believed I ran. "What about you, Claire?" Mom asked, her voice laced with that all-too-familiar cocktail of worry and disapproval. "Any developments with your, digital payments idea?" "Digital infrastructure solutions," I corrected gently. "And yes, we're scaling up." Emily let out a sharp laugh into her wineglass. "Scaling up? Last I heard you were camping out in a hot desk office in Shoreditch. Not quite the square mile, is it?" That hot desk office was actually a forwarding address. My real headquarters occupied the top 4 floors of a modern tower near Canary Wharf, but they didn't need to know that. Not yet. "Not everyone measures success by their postcode," I said calmly. Emily gave me a pitying smirk, the same one I'd endured for years. "Keep chasing your dreams, Claire. Meanwhile, some of us are making serious moves in banking." She had no idea about the moves I'd been making, about the confidential negotiations I'd conducted with her bank's senior board members, about the signed paper secured in my hotel safe, documents that would upend both our worlds. "Speaking of career paths," Dad cut in, "Emily mentioned Crownridge might have junior analyst roles in their tech division. If you're interested, Clara." "I'm good, Dad." I raised my glass of sparkling water. "But thanks." "You can't keep playing the startup game forever," Emily scoffed. "Eventually, you'll have to join the real world." The real world. As if she had the faintest clue what I'd built while she was scaling the corporate ladder. As if she realized that Crownridge's entire digital leap depended on my say-so. Because tomorrow, when the London Stock Exchange bell rang, the world would discover that Apex Ledger, the stealth fintech conglomerate acquiring mid-tier banks across Europe since 2022, was my company. And our latest acquisition, Crownridge Bank. Emily had been so busy boasting about her acquisition that she hadn't even noticed who was buying her bank. "I looked up your company's website," she said, flicking through her phone with perfectly manicured nails. "The branding's cute, I'll give you that, but let's be honest." She gave me a pointed look. "It's barely more than a glorified digital wallet." Mom reached over and patted my arm. "There's no shame in admitting you need help, darling. Emily could put in a good word for you." "I appreciate it," I said evenly. "But I'm exactly where I need to be." "Where you need to be," Emily scoffed. "Claire, you're 33, working out of some co-working hub in Shoreditch, probably scraping 6 figures if you're lucky. Meanwhile, I'm about to close the biggest deal in Crownridge Bank's history." I glanced at my watch. 14 hours left until the news went public. 14 hours until my sister discovered that her biggest deal was actually her bank being acquired. By me. A waiter materialized beside Emily's chair. "Of course," she said breezily, "put the whole bill on my card. Got to celebrate success while my little sister figures out her path." She handed over her Crownridge Bank executive card with a dramatic flourish. The same bank that, as of 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, would be a subsidiary of my company. The waiter reappeared moments later, his polite smile frozen. "I'm very sorry, madam, but your card seems to have been declined." Emily blinked, then waved a dismissive hand. "That's absurd. Run it again." "The system is showing a hold due to institutional changes," the waiter explained gently. "Perhaps another card?" Emily's face flushed crimson. "Institutional changes? I'm an executive director at Crownridge. There are no changes I don't know about. I caught the waiter's eye and quietly passed him my card. Smooth, matte black, unbranded except for a subtle apex ledger symbol. Recognition sparked in his eyes. He bent closer and whispered, so only I could hear. Of course, Miss Hart. I should have realized. Your bank just acquired hers. The irony was delicious. In less than a day, every credit card in Emily's designer wallet would technically be issued by my company. Don't worry about it, Emily, I said softly. Dinner's on me. The next morning, I sat in my true office, a corner suite on the 52nd floor overlooking London's skyline from Canary Wharf to Greenwich. A wall of digital screens streamed financial news, all counting down to market opening. My phone buzzed nonstop. First, a frantic message from Emily. Something strange happening at Crownridge. Emergency board meeting called. Might be about the acquisition. Then one from Dad. Your sister's about to make headlines today. That's what happens when you build quietly and execute flawlessly. I smiled, adjusting the sleek lines of my bespoke Stella McCartney blazer as my executive team began filtering into the conference room. Unlike the simple knits and jeans I wore to family dinners, today's outfit was pure command. No more hiding. Everything's ready, Claire, my COO Deanna Patel reported, tablet in hand. Press embargo lifts in 20 minutes. NBC Business and Sky News are on standby for your interviews. And Crownridge's board signed the final documents about an hour ago. Their senior leadership still hasn't been briefed. I nodded, picturing Emily sitting in her glass-walled office, utterly oblivious to the bombshell that would hit her morning strategy meeting. Miss Hart, my assistant's voice came through the intercom. Your sister keeps calling. She says it's urgent. Not now, I said calmly. We have bigger priorities. At precisely 9:15 a.m., the first breaking news alert flashed across the Bloomberg terminal. Apex Ledger to acquire Crownridge Bank in £6.7 billion sterling, 0 pence deal. My phone detonated with notifications. Emily, Claire, oh my God, Apex just bought us. Meeting happening right now. Dad, are you watching the news? Your sister's bank is being sold. Mom, call us. Emily won't answer. I turned toward the largest video wall in my office, where the Sky News anchor was speaking with animated urgency. In an unexpected move this morning, fintech powerhouse Apex Ledger has announced its acquisition of Crownridge Bank, marking its largest deal to date. But perhaps the bigger headline is Apex's enigmatic CEO, finally revealing her identity. The double doors burst open and Diana hurried in. They're ready for your live segment. I rose, smoothing my blazer as the camera crew made quick adjustments to lighting and sound. The small red light on the main camera blinked to life. And joining us now exclusively is Clare Hart, CEO of Apex Ledger, and, as we've just learned, one of the youngest billionaires in the European fintech space. I looked straight into the camera lens, knowing exactly who was sitting at a boardroom table in shock somewhere across London. Sometimes the biggest moves are made in silence, I said evenly. Apex Ledger has been transforming digital banking for the past 3 years. Crownridge is simply our next step forward. The anchor leaned forward. Sources say Crownridge's executive team had no idea who was behind the acquisition until this morning. Was that deliberate? We prefer to let results and technology speak for themselves, I replied. Names and titles only complicate perceptions. My phone vibrated yet again. Emily was calling nonstop now. I could almost see the chaos unfolding in Crownridge's boardroom as her entire world shifted beneath her feet. If you're as fascinated as I am by secrets, power moves, and the moment when the tables finally turn, make sure you hit subscribe. You won't want to miss what happens next in Claire's story. The interview carried on, rapid-fire questions coming my way, until my assistant stepped closer and murmured discreetly. Miss Hart, Crownridge's executive director of digital strategies in the lobby, says she's your sister. Another call lit up my phone. I silenced it. Send her up, I said evenly, and have security stand by. Minutes later, Emily burst into my office, still wearing the same navy suit from yesterday, hair slightly disheveled, eyes blazing with confusion and fury. What the hell is happening? She demanded, then froze as she took in the towering office windows, the media lights, the Apex Leisure insignia gleaming across multiple screens. The executive suite, the news crews, the Apex brand everywhere. "Hello, Emily," I said calmly, folding my hands on my desk. "I believe you're late for your board meeting." This is how?" she stammered. "That little digital wallet project of yours?" I gestured to the screens where Apex's stock price scrolled upward in bright green. "It evolved." Emily sank into a chair, staring as financial news headlines rolled by, reporting Apex Ledger's acquisition of Crownridge Bank. "All this time," she murmured, "when I was telling you to get a proper job." "I had one," I replied. "Several, actually. Apex Ledger owns 12 banks now. Crownridge makes 13. Does Dad know?" she whispered. "My will, in about 10 minutes. I've arranged for a car to bring Mum and Dad here for the press conference." Emily buried her face in her hands, her carefully constructed executive calm splintering. "What happens to me?" she finally asked, voice ragged. I picked up a sleek folder from my desk and held it out to her. "That depends. The executive director of digital strategy role at Crownridge will be restructured. But there's an opening in our innovation department. Lower title, naturally, no executive privileges, but an opportunity to learn banking from the ground up, the right way." "Lower title?" Emily sputtered. "You can't demote me. I'm your sister." "Exactly." My tone stayed cool. "And if I let family influence my decisions, I wouldn't be where I am today." "This isn't personal, Emily. It's business. Real business." The intercom chimed again. "Your parents have arrived, Miss Hart." I turned as my parents stepped into my office, their eyes sweeping over the executive suite, the cameras, the massive screens, still announcing Apex's acquisition of Crownridge. Dad came to a halt, his gaze lingering on the headlines. Mum's voice was barely more than a breath. What is all this?" I spread my arms slightly. "This," I said quietly, "is what playing with my little startup actually looks like." Diana appeared in the doorway. "Miss Hart, the press conference starts in 20 minutes. Board members are gathering in the main hall." "Thank you, Diana." I turned back to my family, my resolve steady. "We should keep this brief," I said coolly. "I have a company to run. Actually, several companies now." Dad found his voice first. "You're the one who bought Crownridge?" "Apex Ledger bought Crownridge," I corrected. "I just happened to own Apex Ledger, along with 12 other banks and the digital infrastructure platform you all assumed was a hobby." Emily, still slumped in the leather chair across from me, let out a harsh, disbelieving laugh. "All those times I offered to help you find a real job." "I remember," I said, tapping my tablet to bring up Crownridge's quarterly performance reports. "Like last Christmas, when you said I was wasting my talents on a side project. I was finalizing the acquisition of First Continental that week, or the dinner last month when you suggested I apply for an entry-level analyst role. I was already negotiating to buy your bank." Mum shook her head slowly, confusion etched across her features. "But your flat, your clothes, that co-working space in Shoreditch were exactly what you expected to see," I replied evenly. "The Shoreditch address receives my mail. I live in the penthouse at the Corinthian. The so-called startup office you visited was a front." I swept my hand toward the glass walls framing London's skyline. "This," I said softly, "is where I actually work." "Why didn't you tell us?" Dad demanded, voice tight. "Would you have believed me?" I asked gently. "Or would you have done what you've always done? Dismissed it, minimized it, and explained why Emily's path was the right one?" The silence in the room pulsed like a living thing. "Speaking of paths," I continued, turning to Emily, "have you decided about the position in the innovation department?" "You're really going to demote your own sister?" Dad cut in sharply. "No," I said firmly. "I'm offering a position to an executive whose digital division has underperformed for 6 consecutive quarters. The fact that she's my sister is irrelevant." "Irrelevant?" Mum whispered, voice trembling. "We're family." "Family," I echoed, walking toward the tall windows overlooking the Thames. "Like when Emily laughed at Christmas and called my company cute, Or when Dad said I needed real-world experience during Easter lunch, that kind of family. The intercom chimed once more. 5 minutes until your press conference, Ms. Hart. I turned back to face them, my voice calm. I have to announce this acquisition to the world. You're all welcome to attend. There are seats reserved in the front row. But understand one thing, I added, straightening my blazer. From now on, everything changes. Changes how? Emily finally whispered, looking up at me. No more condescension. No more helpful advice about my career. No more assumptions about my potential. I lifted my chin, my eyes meeting theirs steadily. From today forward, you'll see exactly who I am and what I've built. Whether you can handle that reality is up to you. And if we can't, Dad shot back, his tone still edged with disbelief. Then you'll miss out on quite a lot, I replied evenly. Apex Ledger is just the beginning. Next month, we're launching our European expansion. The month after that, our blockchain payments platform goes live. It's your choice whether you want to witness it from the sidelines or be part of it. Diana appeared once more at the doorway. They're ready for you, Miss Hart. I started toward the exit, then paused and glanced back at Emily. Oh, and Emily? About those Crownridge executive credit cards? They'll all be deactivated at midnight. Her eyes widened. Your new company card will come with a significantly lower limit, I added lightly, standard policy for non-executive roles. The press conference unfolded in a dazzling whirl of camera flashes and rapid-fire questions. I announced the acquisition, laid out Apex Ledger's bold vision for the future of digital banking, and watched our share price surge higher with each sentence. From the front row, my parents and Emily sat in silent shock, finally seeing the empire I'd built while they'd been so busy doubting me. That evening, as the city glittered below my penthouse windows, I sat reviewing the day's headlines on my tablet. My phone buzzed with a message from Emily. I'll take the position in the innovation department. And I'm sorry. For everything. A few minutes later came another text, this time from Dad. We were wrong, Claire. So wrong. Can we have dinner this week? Anywhere you choose. A wry smile curved my lips as I remembered all the family meals where they tried to educate me about real success. Now they wanted to sit down with the real me. The CEO. The strategist. The billionaire they'd never seen coming. My reply was succinct. Sunday. My place. I'll send a card. And Emily, bring your new company card. Dinner's on you this time. Because sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't just proving people wrong, it's proving yourself right. And letting them pick up the tab, for the privilege of watching you do it. If my story has taught you anything, it's that quiet strength and relentless belief in yourself can change everything, even when those closest to you doubt your path. I faced skepticism, condescension, and outright dismissal, but I stayed focused on building my vision, not on their opinions. I invite you to share your thoughts. Have you ever been underestimated or told your dreams weren't real? How did you rise above it? Your experiences and support mean the world, not just to me, but to everyone fighting to prove their worth. Remember, success isn't always loud or flashy. Sometimes it's the steady, unseen work done when no one's watching. If you're chasing a dream, keep going. Don't let anyone else define your potential. And if you believe in resilience and quiet power, subscribe to follow my journey. It's only just beginning.